Yeah, we're live. That's us live now. Hi, everybody. Um, Today I have got. Now, I will give him his proper title for the first time and then I'll refer to him in his name.
Oh man.
Just to be cheesy because he'll kill me. Today I have got Captain Borax, who is here. Drum roll, so, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I know
And
it's a great
how are
a
you,
great
how you doing? How are you? You good?
pretty good. I've been running around a little bit. It's starting to get warm in Las Vegas.
Oh,
Uh
yeah.
but it but I'm good. I'm happy to be back in the air conditioning
Yeah.
and yeah.
That's good.
But excellent. How's it going with you? What time is it there?
Yeah. It's 9:30. Well, it's actually just after 9:30 at
Okay.
night. But yeah,
Very
everything's
cool.
good with me. That's nice you asked because most people don't ask back. They just say, "Oh, I'm fine." So
Oh yeah, I'll start talking. You'll have a hard time getting me to shut up once I get rolling, man. So that's what I
Well,
do. But
so you've had your channel for how long? Is it 4 years? You've had the current one?
maybe 6 years.
Is it 6 years?
Yeah,
So were
I
you
had one.
just sorry?
Oh, I had one before that too, but
Right.
it got blown up because I was uploading copywritten content,
Ah. Oh.
So I didn't take it very serious at the time. I was just kind of, but it was also Captain Borax.
Yep.
But anyway, so
So
about 6 years, yeah.
yeah, because it's doing well. Your channel's doing well. You've got quite a good amount of subscribers. You have. You've
Yeah,
got
it's
quite
doing
a. You're
okay.
doing well. I mean, some
Well,
people have got like 90 and all million and all that,
oh yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
if you're just happy,
No,
with.
I'm happy with it. I just do it for fun. I got to make it clear. I don't do this for money. I'm not trying to get rich. It's just
Yeah.
purely for fun. It's an elaborate hobby.
Yep.
Is all it is for me. I've taken down most of my current Ted Bundy stuff because I'm
Yep.
cleaning stuff up. I'm cleaning
Hmm.
um I'm going back and I'm fixing things that bugged me about
Yeah.
technical glitches.
Yeah.
But I just re-uploaded the latest Evelyn Amy one, so that's up now.
That that was amazing. That was really good. It was amazing. If anyone's not seen it yet, Chris was over speaking to one of Ted Bundy's victim sisters, and she was telling all about her sister, and it was really nice to hear it in not just read something in a book or you know a sort of anecdotal thing. It was actually nice
Yeah,
hearing the stories and hearing about her horse, and her dog, and all the stories. It was nice.
yeah, it's an interesting. Some of these folks they're so emotionally embedded in it,
Yeah,
and it's been a long time, and I I think it's hard for them to talk about this stuff,
yeah,
and I've been pretty lucky with getting people like the Wilcox family to speak with me,
yeah.
and of course, as you know, Lynette Culver. I
Lynette,
think
yeah,
you
yeah,
helped with that, and it's been a blast. But it changes your perspective on the whole
yeah,
case. In a way. I mean, I love true crime and research and history and looking at all
mhm,
this stuff. But you see it from a different angle. Suddenly, you're like,
yeah,
these girls actually have families, and they're
mhm,
when you're talking to Carol Culver on the telephone and she's
yeah,
crying to you,
yeah,
speaking about her daughter, it's like, whoa, it's kind of heady stuff.
yeah,
Um, but it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the research. I also enjoy the putting together the videos. I like the technical
yeah.
stuff. I enjoy that. But
So that'll be why it annoys you if you've got technical things.
yeah,
Wee technical things. I mean, there's a thing that annoys me in the Lynette video, and I want to redo that. I think it's too fast. I think the slides are too fast. I think I
oh
want to
yeah,
make it a bit slower. But it was like that video. I had it all done on a editing app thing on my phone, and then it decided to crash and wouldn't do it. So then I had to do it on my computer. but I couldn't
Sure.
transfer the data over, so I had to redo the whole thing again. So it maybe was that I rushed trying to do it the second time because I had been so long doing it that I thought
See,
I want to get it done.
Yeah, you know how I feel because it's
Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of you'll upload something, you'll look at it and go, it doesn't work, and then you take it back, and then you try to transfer it over so you can scrap it and redo it. It's a lot of work, this stuff, man.
Yeah,
I don't think people realize, but no, I like your videos. I saw it. I think
thank you.
What was the latest one you put out?
She's a Hallback. She was a victim of, well, she was the one that was featured in the Making a Murderer programme. And obviously Stephen and Brendan were convicted for it, but they're not. They weren't. There's so much evidence against the fact that they're, there's no way they had anything to do it, especially Brendan, because there's absolutely no DNA, no nothing, and he confessed, and his confession was very much forced upon him, fed to him. Because you've seen Making a Murderer.
Yeah, I remember that. They were just shoving that in. You were over here and this happened, right? Right. Yeah, it was very, very forced. It felt disorganous, and it felt like, I mean, God, who the hell would do that to somebody?
Yeah. Brendan... Yeah. Well, sorry.
He had a disability too, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Wow.
Yeah. And his disability was around about hearing things, not as in a hearing problem, but how his brain interprets things. So them manipulating that, that was, it wasn't cool, in any way at all. And I mean, Brendan, that's one thing, but then Stephen as well, there's so much. His lawyer, he's got a most amazing lawyer who's been getting all the best people all over the world to do testing on things that had never been tested, and some of the DNAs came up, and it's basically impossible to have left that amount of DNA on these items,
For sure.
So even, so they're waiting to try and get a evidentiary hearing for Stephen, so they can take these things forward to the court. So that's basically where they are with that. But so that's who are we talking about, Stephen and Brendan?
No, it's fascinating.
So that's why I did the Teresa one, because we were having a 48-hour marathon. So I've got my wee thing still up behind me.
Yeah, cool.
It was all the YouTubers. There was 9 of us doing a thing over 48 hours. We were all talking about Making a Murderer and wrongful convictions and things like that. So it was really good. It was tiring, but it was great.
No, that's cool.
It's good. So that's why I did that video, because I thought that's good timing, and we actually opened the marathon with that video, so it was nice.
Very cool. Did they do a second series on that show?
Yes, they have.
I don't know if I've seen the entire second part.
You have to watch it. You have
to.
It's the orders. Orders.
That's cool. No, anything that's good, I'm ready to watch, man. Because the
second one's more the the DNA things, and more finding out about bullets and things that were on bullets that shouldn't have been, or it was basically more into the sort of DNA side of it, the forensic side of it, the behavioural side of things. It's more edgy like that, rather than the sort of first one was more family based, the family suffering and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, it's a different pace, the second one. It's yeah. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no problem.
Watch it. You need to watch
I will. I'll finish it. I was fascinated by the first thing, and it was so controversial, and then it just kind of went away for a while. You didn't hear much about it.
I think it was about a year and a half in between the two. I think it was a good wee while in between the two.
Yeah, hang on. Let me grab my puppy. She's like chewing.
Sure.
She's chewing on my. She's like chewing on my cables on my floor.
Oh no, you don't want that. Oh, who's this?
This is Schmoopy.
Oh, hello. I know you won't hear me, but I'm saying hello. Oh, is it a boy or a girl? Because that name could be a she. It's a she.
Could be. I don't know. Let's take a look.
She's a she.
There, let's take a look. No, it's a girl.
So, what was I going to say? So, did you do researching before you got into doing the Bundy ones? Did you do other things? Or did you pretty much just kind of like fall into the Bundy thing and it's kind of went 6 years ahead and you've got a channel now? Or how did it work?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a history guy. I've always studied historical things. I've gone through different phases. I mean, I've always. And so I've certainly studied other things. But initially, when I put the YouTube video initially was kind of Bundy based. Yeah. And that's kind of how Rob Dielenberg from the Timeline found me. He found me on my old YouTube channel. And we just kind of hit it off. And so consequentially, you know, one of the things, you know, I could credit Rob for this is he ended up telling me, hey, you got to call this guy, you got to call this person, you got to do this, you got to do that. Yeah. And then the next thing you know, you find yourself with just bazillions of contacts and interviews and things. And it's like, cool, let's just make some videos and keep pushing and going around. It just kind of snowball effect, I guess.
Yeah. Sure.
And as I've done it, I've gotten interested in other cases. And then at one point I wrote a couple of articles for a strange serial killer magazine on a couple other different guys, and they published that. And so all of a sudden I'm like contacting lawyers. It goes different directions. And you find out, you know, some things that are really easy to find and some things that are hard to find, but it's been a lot of fun from a research point of view. I've enjoyed it a lot. There's things I don't enjoy about it though. You know, like anything. There's definitely a high burnout rate. What's funny about the Bundy thing is when I first started looking into this stuff, nobody was talking about this case, nothing. No. And then all of a sudden it was just like, whoa.
It's went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. It's went crazy.
So I don't know. So I'm cleaning up all my videos, putting them back up, you know, fixing things that were bothering me. And and that's just kind of where I'm at. Also doing other
Rob Haywood one. Oh, sorry. Because I was going to say the Rob Haywood, is that one of the ones, is that his name? The cop?
Hayward, yeah.
Haywood. Because Hayward or Haywood? Hayward. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I always forget his name. I don't know why I always forget it.
I gotta get this dog out of here. Hang on.
Sure.
One moment.
Wait, I'll just get rid of the message. How good's that getting to see a wee dog? You get it all on this channel. Can't be biting the wires.
She's adorable, but she chews on my like cell phone wires and things, and so I'm talking to you, and I look down, and she's like,
oh well. I mean, that's what they do, don't they? When they're wee like that. How old is she?
Maybe a year.
Oh,
about a year old.
Still a wee puppy. Because they're puppies to their two. They say that they're puppies to their two. They still got a wee cheekiness until they're two.
She's sweet. I adore her. That's the only thing that bothers me, though. Like, stop chewing on cables.
So
anyway.
No, what was I going to say? So did you have her before you moved to Vegas then?
No, we actually bought her when we were in Vegas here. I've only been here since, I'm trying to think, maybe August of last year. So not even quite a year. And somebody just asked, "Has I seen Mindhunter?" Yes, I have seen quite a bit of Mindhunter. I really enjoyed some of it, but I got to go back and look at it too. I need to. I love the Edward Kemper character.
Yes. Oh, he's so good, isn't he? He's so good. He's
so creepy. What a good actor that guy is.
Would you ever go and visit someone like that in jail?
Yeah, I would.
Prison, I should say, prison. I think he would be amazing to talk to. Not because of Mindhunter, because I've always, I mean, years and years ago, there was like the program, The Man That Lives with Monsters or something, you know, the one with Robert Resler. Did you ever see that? It was like an old serial killer. I think it was The Man That Lives with Monsters. You know, as in they live in his head.
I'm not sure. If you thought of the title, I don't know off the top of my head.
But I mean, there was other ones where they were featured. You know, like they looked at Edmund Kemper. And I mean, this is probably about a 25-year-old program or something like that. You know, so not a new thing. You know, but I mean, when I saw Edmund Kemper years ago, I thought he's so. I don't know. I don't mean. I'm not a serial killer lover. You know, some people go all kind of googly eyes over them. But I just think he's interesting, the fact that he was killing them because he wanted to kill his mother. He killed his mother, then he gave himself up. You know, that's the insight, the fact that he's got that insight to know that I'm actually killing them because I want to kill her. If I kill her, you know, you know, and it's, you know, it's weird. I always think that's weird, but fascinating too.
Well, you know what's interesting about that story? I mean, I didn't grow up in the same town that he was at, but I grew up a little bit north, or I'm sorry, east of where he grew up, where he was when he was doing that stuff. And he's a lot older than me. He's in his 70s, you know, when this was back in the 60s when he was doing that stuff. But
I'm trying to remember, what was the name of the place again? What was the name?
Santa Cruz, I believe.
That's it. Thank you. I'm sorry. I was trying to remember. I was going, because I was trying to remember all the Monday stuff, and I was like, the Edwin Kemper stuff's in the back of my brain, you know. So it's Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz, California. What it is. It's they put it in a ton of movies. What's funny about it is it's an amazing place. Like I've seen Santa Cruz in a ton of movies, and I used to go there when my parents would take me there because they have this boardwalk Malecone on the beach that has the most incredible arcade you've ever seen back in the old days, you know. And then they had one of those big roller coasters, and it's a beach resort for people that in California, you know, on the weekend, hey, let's go to Santa Cruz, you know, and I mean, I think about it, I'm like, God, this guy lives in like one of the most beautiful places on earth.
And
it's interesting, but I used to hear a lot about that guy when I was growing up.
Right.
Ed Kemper, you know. So it's an interesting story, but I don't know as much about it as I probably should.
Yeah. Well, my friend Jane and Williams just said the Robert Resler, The Man Who Lives with Monsters. It was a 2001 documentary. I thought it was older than that, but I knew it was around about the 20-year mark. I think you can find it on YouTube. There's like copies of it on YouTube.
I'll look for it.
But it was quite good because he was talking about how, you know, the beginning of the FBI, what made him go into that path, and he talks about his the fact that John Wayne Gacy was basically his neighbour when he was young, you know, Robert Resler. You know, and how
I wonder if it's the same book, because I read
they had a book of. I think he had the book of it. Yeah, I think I had a book of it.
I have that book here somewhere. I've got a bunch of shelves right. But
you would I knew you would probably have that, you know, in your collection. But yeah, I mean, it's a kind of fine line, isn't it, of being intrigued by them and then being horrified by them, you know, and then having the victims, you know. It's like there's such a, you know, it must be like when you're looking at it and you're researching, like you said, you're seeing the horror of the victims, the families left behind, and, you know, but at the same time you're going, why did they do that? You know, what makes them do it? You know, just, do you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, sir. Oh, absolutely. No, it's a weird thing, you know, because I'm absolutely interested in the mechanics of these crimes. I'm interested in the mechanics of the police work. Mm-hmm. I'm interested in the history, the time frames, where they were when these things were happening, the whole historical significance of it. And that's one side of me that's kind of like a cop in a way. I'm kind of like, hey, you know, it's very fascinating. But then, you know, getting to know these people, you also kind of get this, you know, these people have really suffered, you know, it's kind of weird. Yeah. So it's a weird balance. I have a hard time when I see people, you know, and I'm not saying anything bad about anybody at all, but I have a hard time when I see people joking around about serial killers, you know. Look at it's Ted Bundy. I saw somebody had like a Ted Bundy. Someone was trying to sell a Ted Bundy dildo the other day. It was like a femur bone from one of his victims. It was fake, and they shaped it into a dildo. And I'm like,
no, that's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, cool. I'm not going to be judgy and sit there and say, "Oh, what a butthole," but it just, I'm like, I don't get it, man. I don't get the humor. I don't know. I don't. But whatever, you know, I'm not, no problem.
I mean, I suppose it's the same as like those, you know, people wear the Halloween masks. You know, the same as dressing up as, you know, the famous, you know. But it's like, I mean. At the end of the day, you know, I don't know if it was their family, would they do it? You know, if it was one of their family members, they wouldn't do it. You know, so it's like that sort of. There's those people that buy the memorabilia and all that as well. Have you seen them?
That's what I mean. That kind of stuff too, and the kind of jerky memes, you know, and the memorabilia. I just, you know, I don't care. People do whatever they want, but it ain't for me. It's not really my thing. But and I know funny. I like funny. I joke around constantly all the time about really crass, inappropriate things all day long. Enough to make your mother blush, but that stuff is not funny to me. I don't know.
No. Probably because you have been close to the victim's family. You know, and you've had that sign where you're, you know, maybe if you hadn't been, you would think, oh, look at that, you know. Whereas you know Carol Culver, you know, and you've been there. You've been there at you weren't there that day, the memorial service for the bench, but your wife was there. And I mean, what I mean is, it was still very, very close to you, you know, getting that sorted and being part of that, you know, for Lynette.
Well, yeah, for sure. And like, I mean, just before, when I, you know, how I was telling you, I'm almost home.
Yeah.
Right as I was coming home, I was talking to Evelyn Amy. She called me, and then her daughter called me, who's really interested in the case. It's so much emotional stuff. I talked to Nancy Wilcox's sister on Instagram all the time. We just chit chat and stuff. She's really cool. They live down in Phoenix. So, you know, it's like I'm kind of close to some of these people. So I just don't see, you know, to me, it's not funny. I don't know.
No. Well, you know that if any of them ever want to get their story out further, you know, you're welcome to pass on details to me, you know, if they want to come on and have a chat or anything, because it's like, it's like the more people that help get their story out, you know, you would hope it would be helpful in a way, you know, and take away a bit of that sort of jokey factor, you know.
It certainly might be therapeutic for some of these folks to chat with you about it. Absolutely.
I'm not trying to steal your guests, so don't worry.
I don't care. I don't mind. You can. I'll send you some phone numbers if you want.
Well, yeah, that would be good. Yeah, or emails maybe, because phone number from Scotland would be. £10,000 bill. Hello.
No. So what is the best thing to eat in your hometown? What's some good home cooking where you are?
Let's see, Scotland, and I'm in Glasgow, the city of Glasgow, and we're a very sort of metropolitan town, city rather. Yeah. So everywhere go, we've got Chinese, Indian, sushi bars, you know, there's everything, everything. So there's very few what we would consider traditional Scottish, you know.
Right.
But obviously, like, to say what a traditional Scottish thing would be haggis. You know, that would be haggis. Yeah,
okay.
With potatoes and, well, it's turnip. You know what a turnip is?
Turnips.
Some people call it sweet and stuff like that in different places. So that's traditional. You would have haggis for your potato and turnip. But we don't sit down to that every night for dinner in Scotland. It's not... it's not, you know... It's more for... there's once a year where it's Burns Night, Robbie Burns. Have you heard of Robert Burns?
Robert Burns.
Scottish play, you know, and poet from over 100 years ago. I can't remember.
Okay.
It's the older time. Over 100 years ago. So we have a thing called a Burns Supper, and because he had written a poem to a haggis, you see, and it's basically like you'll have your haggis and you're supposed to read out the poem and have a whiskey and, you know,
sounds
that
good.
sort of thing, you know. So
this sounds good.
And people get together, you know, and it's so it's supposed to be
haggis. Your friend Alice said haggis, neeps, and tatties.
Yeah, that's it. See, we call it neeps, but it's a turnip. That's why I was just being, you know. And potatoes is tatties. So yeah, haggis, neeps, and tatties. Because Alice is actually from Glasgow as well.
Okay. So. Very cool. Hi, Alice.
We've actually got 11 people in with us just now. So it's the big time. You're hitting the big time.
A lot of is everybody here mainly from Glasgow or Scotland, you know, or
no, there's people from Ireland. I don't want to touch it because I'll end up pressing something up. But yeah, Ireland, and there's maybe about 4, 5 from Scotland, and then Eric O'Day from California. There was other people as well, and I'm sorry they're away up and I've missed who they were. Well, not missed them, but I've missed where they're from. But yeah, I mean, StreamYard's great for doing these videos because I mean it's really simple, isn't it? It's really easy.
Yeah, it's free, right?
Yeah. You get up to 20 hours a month to use free.
Okay.
And what you can actually do, I can tell you about it later, but you can actually I say that I'll tell you later and then I'll tell you now. You can actually share if you had a document you wanted to share to the people in the video. There's an actual bit at the bottom that I can press share screen.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah. So I can share.
What do you guys want to see? I'm going to find some stuff. No.
No, but it's pretty easy to do that. So if you were doing a video yourself, talking to someone, you could say, "Oh, wait a minute, is this here?" You know, and you could show them the article or whatever you're talking about. So it's really cool. You only have to pay for it if you want to get rid of the branding of it in StreamYard, and you get unlimited hours, I think, to do your stuff.
I see.
You know, so, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But I mean, I just wanted a wee bit of chitty chat with you today, and just get your thoughts and stuff like that, you know, and so. Maybe it's unfair to say who is your best interview, you know, or could you pick a best? And I don't necessarily mean the victim's family, but I mean just out of all the people. Yeah.
Oh man, well, there's been some wonderful ones. I mean, it's hard to pick. I'm trying to think of some of the later ones. Some of the police officers that you end up speaking with. The ones that are still kind of with it, you know, mentally, because some of those guys are pretty old, you know. I've spoken with a lot in recent times. A guy named Bill Collard, who's really interesting. He was he was really wrapped up in the Debbie Kent piece, as well as being one of the guys that was on the surveillance team from Bountiful. Which is a town around the corner from Salt Lake City, but he and these other guys are on Ballantyne, and anyway, they spent like a couple of weeks just camping out in front of Ted Bundy's house with binoculars, taking pictures. And then later on, this guy was actually one of the guys that found Debbie Kent's knee bone.
Oh, wow.
But what's fun about this guy's particular interview is he was extreme. His memory was photographic. I mean, he
was what you wanted.
It was very interesting. He was talking about, and he was he's a guy that's interested in psychology as well. So he like, for example, he was telling me, so I'm sitting in the parking lot and I'm looking at Ted Bundy's house across the street, and I'm taking pictures every time he comes and goes, or just whatever. And he said Ted would go upstairs, come back downstairs dressed like a lumberjack, like with boots, big boots, and then jeans, and then whatever. And he would stand on the edge of his porch and look up and down the street, do that kind of thing. And then he'd run back upstairs, and he'd come back down 10 minutes later dressed like he was going golfing. And it just, he said that watching the way the wheels were spinning was just really fascinating.
I think he knew he was being photographed.
He did. He must have.
So that's what I'm saying. Do you think he was doing it to be kind of, I don't know, either to not disguise himself, but maybe he found amusement in it, you know, because he was a bit kind of, you know, I'm saying he's a bit like he's a bit that, you know, whatever that's supposed to mean. But I mean, he's a bit, you know, he was a bit manipulative that way, that, you know, he would maybe find amusement in, I'll get changed and go down to something else. And you know,
well,
was that in the house where he was like a landlord or something? Was that the one where he was like a shared place?
Yeah, it's a little house. It's a house called 565 First Avenue, and it was basically a 5-plex house, 5 different units.
Right.
And he was
that the one with the basement? Mm-hmm. That wasn't was that the one with the suspicious? Yeah.
And he was I figured out a lot of things, how he was financing his things, because a lot of people ask, you know, they say, how in the heck did this guy pull all this off, because he never seemed to have a job, you know. Well, he was totally taking out student loans.
Right.
I found one of his loan receipts from 1974. Think about this. And I don't know, this might be hard for you to translate to your currency, but in 1974 he was for a 3-month period he took out $1,500. Right. And back in those days, to put that in perspective, the apartment that he was staying at probably would have been about $200 a month. And he was getting it for free because he was the landlord, and he was doing the yard work and all these things. So plus I think he was burglarizing houses, he was stealing cars, he was a pickpocket, a purse snatcher. He was bumming money off his girlfriend back in Washington, his mom. So
everybody anyone he could.
He was a hustler.
I was going to say that, a hustler. Yeah, definitely a hustler. Well, William's asking he said, what input did you have on the book on my shelf? I put that book there because your name's in it.
Oh,
I put it there. I thought I'll put it there and I'll show off, because you'll want your pal to get. Oh, I've lost my place marker.
I barely even saw that sitting back there. That's funny.
Can you see it okay?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't finished it yet because it's a bit of a task.
That's a big one. That's a pretty intensive book. I spent a lot of time doing research for the author, mainly in the adult and the arrest section. So just tracking people down all over Utah, Colorado, Idaho, Washington and Florida, and finding old archives, new pictures, old pictures, new interviews, old interviews, court documents. I mean, it was crazy, you know. I mean, To answer another question, I think maybe my Bob Hayward video is probably one of my more favorite ones.
Yeah,
mainly,
I like that.
Mainly because Bob and I got to be pretty good friends.
Yeah.
He was really cool. I mean, he was a 80-something-year-old guy, but he and I really hit it off. It was fun. We would just talk about cars and fishing and stuff. And
he seemed cool. He seemed really cool.
He was way cool.
I was trying to remember earlier on when Ted had said he'd been to see a drive-through movie. Was it Tower in Inferno? He said that he had been to see, and that hadn't been on, and that was how he knew he was lying. Was that what it was? Something like that. I think that was what he said in the video, because I was looking for the video to go back and see, and I thought, I can't find it. And you'd explained earlier on that you're shuffling about.
I took it down, yeah.
But I mean, I've watched nearly all your videos, and I watch them and then I go, I need to give myself a wee break from it because it's intensive watching a lot of videos. Yes, a lot of videos.
You got to be a real masochist to watch all of that.
But that's why it's no offense, but I need a wee breaks in between.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. Well,
when you think about it, I actually only discovered your channel just after I'd done the Linda and Healy one. That was when I had been looking for more things and more information on the internet. And then I just all of a sudden came across your channel and I thought, I'm liking this, and that was when I reached out to you and you helped me so much with Lynette's video, giving me all the photographs she gave me. I mean, that was amazing. That was really good. The ones of her wee jacket and stuff like that,
Oh, the jacket stuff, yeah, that was pretty intense, man.
That was because you were saying you could still smell the perfume, and
that was that's a weird story.
40 odd years ago.
Yeah, that story was weird because I knew that the sister had Lynette's things, right?
Yeah.
But I thought I would wait until I met her in person to ask about that stuff.
Yeah.
Because you get her on. It's a little game, you get her on the phone. Yeah. What if she says no, shuts you down, and then she won't meet with you in the first place because
you don't want to be too pushy. I get it.
So. But when I caught her, we talked and I was scanning the photographs and things. And then we were kind of wrapping up. And all of a sudden I went, hey, didn't you say you had some of Lynette's things? And she goes, yeah, they're in the attic of my garage. But it turns out she didn't want me to go into her garage because she felt it was messy. She didn't want me to see her mess.
Everyone has mess. Who doesn't have mess?
That's what I told her.
OCD or something like that,
That's what I told her.
Everyone's mess. Did she bring it through to you then? Did she say, or did you go through to see it?
Well, it was kind of fun because she had a teenage son who was there at the time. Really nice kid.
Yeah.
They have a large group of kids, and I think 7 out of 10 of them are adopted.
Right.
And,
nice.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah,
anyway, she had a really sweet boy there, a sweet kid. He's probably 16 or 17. Yeah. And she said, hey, you want to go help Chris pull that stuff out of the attic? And so he and I just climbed up into this enormous attic, and it turned out there was like 7 or 8 boxes. And so I was going through Lynette's clothes, her jackets, her doll collection, her homework. It was just and you could open up the box. There was you could smell Lynette, the perfume. It was so weird.
Yeah, that would be sad because I remember talking to you and the voice messages, and you were telling me that you were saying you could still smell it, and I was like, oh God, it's like heartbreaking and so weird, that the smell stayed there, for. Yeah, it's weird. You see Paula's here.
Hey, Paula. Yeah, she says love Nancy. Yeah, Nancy's cool, right, Paula?
Eric Cody's here. Well, I'll let him in. Yeah, might not let you in. I'll introduce you to him.
Well, Paula was there. Oh,
yeah.
Hey, man.
No, I mean, hello. He's here in the here. Eric Cody, this is Chris. Chris.
Hello, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Or Captain Borax, if you want to call him.
Just Chris is fine.
If he's want to be all funny about it, you know. So how you doing, Eric Cozy? You okay?
All right.
Good.
I was doing a live with Paul earlier today, and
I'm
going to do another one with him later over on my channel. And
when I asked Chris earlier on how he was, he asked me how I was, and I thought, I'm not used to this from California men. They never asked me how I am.
I suppose.
So it's just you.
We may be a bit cavalier over here.
Wait, we're actual gentlemen over here in California. That's right. No,
is that what it is?
I don't know.
So I was telling him all about. I was telling Chris all about your channel, and I was talking a wee bit about Stephen and Brendan. I've
been watching.
Dominate it. Were you watching?
Well, I was watching most of it. I had to step outside at one point, but I was watching most of it.
As you do.
So you're doing great, but it's great stuff. I mean,
it's so interesting.
I've had people. I mean, when I've broached on the subject of serial killers when I was first going live after Making a Murderer 2 came out, and I was going like live every day for like 3 months straight. I would couple times would reference serial killers like Bundy or Gacy or any number of others. And people were showing an interest. So I started trying to do that kind of content, but to me, it was frustrating because I put all of this work into making a video and YouTube would, demonetize me immediately. And it was just like, come on, guys. I mean, I have a reputation for, approaching things in a factual and classy way. I mean, that's kind of how I've made a name for myself. So I'm like would just get so frustrated that everyone would get shut down because I did one about Israel Keys because I just think that dude was really scary. Of like all the serial killers to me, he's really scary because that dude was totally under the radar. And we would have never found him if he hadn't have screwed up and taken Denise Koenig right near his home. That led to his downfall. And had he not done that, he would have been, who knows how long that guy would have gone on having his little murder kits buried all around the United States and everything.
You heard of him?
Everything about that dude was scary to me. I was just like, we need to be aware of people like this.
That's not I'm not sure. That's not the Craigslist guy, is it?
I don't think it's Craig. I don't think so. He lived in Alaska. He was actually a pretty quiet guy. He actually did a lot of. He was a really good builder, so he was often doing work for people's houses up in Alaska, doing little building projects by Lake something. It's a Indian reservation and a town as well. Lake, I think it starts with a W. Anyway, he was well known there. He was quiet, but he was well known. And he was a good builder. He had a good reputation. I mean, literally, he was coming back from I don't know what you might call it, a job, a kill, whatever you might call it. And he was coming back to the town. Yeah. He was coming back into his little hometown there, headed home, and he stopped off at the little coffee shop there. I think it was a Starbucks, whatever the coffee shop was. That's where Dennis Koenig worked. And it literally, you see it all on the cameras because this place had cameras of him coming in there, her suddenly having to, he go and open a door. He comes in, he takes her out and whatever. So he ends up using her credit card or her debit card or whatever. After, just some really sick stuff that guy did. But I mean, literally the way he went into prep, like he would prep things. So he had like these murder kits buried all over the United States where he planned to go back 6 months to a year later.
Oh yeah. I've heard of this guy. I've heard of this dude. Yeah,
most people have heard of him, but they don't know the name. They don't know the name. You're talking. Yeah. Oh,
he's something else. So that did really put I was like, people need to be aware how these people operate. I mean, people need to kind of maybe not make it their whole life, but maybe start to get some kind of an inclination of how these kind of people operate so that we can be watching out for it. Because trust me, law enforcement doesn't really know what to do with these kind of folks. It's so random that, they have trouble. They have trouble with it,
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, law enforcement, even now, they don't know what to do with it. And nor do they have the funding or inclination in most cases to really understand it. Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Yeah.
William keeps calling you Captain.
Of course he is.
Yeah, yes. I did.
I used them. Yeah.
Oh, did you already show those out?
No, the ones I used them in the Lynette's video. Remember, that's where I put the ones with the jacket and stuff like that. But you had them in your video as well, didn't you? You had them in the
I don't know if I can. I've got loads of pictures. I laid everything kind of out on the floor and took pictures and scanned her homework and different things like that. Was really creepy. There was like homework from the day before she went missing or was abducted, and you can see the date on it, March 4th, and then she goes missing on March 5th, and you're like, oh wow, man. It's pretty wild.
And the fact is, she was never found. That's what's horrible as well. No remains. I mean, there's there's scant remains of most of them. It's usually like a mandible or some other part of the skull that seems to be found. But nothing. Was it the Snake River she was supposed to have been put in? Snake River?
Well, I think they assumed
from the Holiday Inn. Something, wasn't it? That was a kind of...
They assumed it was the Snake River. I don't think Ted ever said it was the Snake River, but it was the general assumption, so she was gone. She was gone. She is gone.
Right. Judging by his MO, I would imagine the reason why you mostly end up finding like a mandible, as Sharon was saying and stuff, is because of his pattern. He would kill him and do all of his whatever, but he would leave them out in the wilderness somewhere, and he would like come back a day or two later, whatever, for a while. And from what I remember in my research, and eventually these bodies would be decaying, and eventually animals would be tearing them apart and ripping them up, and things would be getting torn apart and scattered all over the hills or wherever the forest wherever he would put these bodies. And so I can imagine that's most likely would explain why they can't find her.
Certainly.
Because she was only 12. She was only 12, so she was smaller as well than a grown woman.
Well,
easier to.
For example, like Debbie Kent, I don't think people really, she's the one where they found a knee bone, a patella bone.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they found even that, because quite frankly, I've hiked around up on the side of that hill for miles, scoping it out, checking it out, and the place is a wildcat wonderland, man. There's millions of puma tracks, bloody deer carcasses spread out all over the place. It's a kill zone, so
a good place to hide something then if you're...
Well, he just dumped her. He dumped her down a ravine. I'm pretty convinced anyway. We don't know that for sure, but I doubt her body lasted more than a couple of days.
Right.
Yeah.
They were tearing her up. So
no doubt,
it's pretty creepy.
And the fact that he was executed on the day of Lynette's mother's birthday, that's a kind of weird fact as well, isn't it? Bundy was executed on the wee girl we're talking about, her mother's birthday. I mean, can you imagine that? It's like it's bad enough your daughter's been murdered, then every year on your birthday.
Yeah,
she must think that, she must. I mean, I think she probably thought it was a great birthday gift, to get shot of him, But at the same time,
it's also
I don't think she'd be able to. Yeah, I was going to say that. There's no way she'd be able to have a birthday without, having a thought. But but the bench is amazing. That's such a beautiful thing.
It turned out.
You saw that. It's great. It really is.
Turned out great. Yeah, thanks for your help on that. That's
you're welcome.
Really
you're welcome.
Neat.
Just my wee voice message. That came on dead loud. Mine was dead loud compared to everything. I don't know how that happened.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool. It turned out great, and that was kind of Paula's thing. She put that whole bench thing together. That was her deal.
Yeah. And I know it was very emotional for Paula. I know that day was very emotional. being there, and I don't know how she managed to do it. But yeah, I remember her telling me, it was just, too much. Because Lynette's family were all there. It was a wee ceremony because they never found her body. She never had a grave. She never had a, for all those years, she never had anything. I don't know. It always made me wonder why they never put some sort of wee grave marker of sorts, down for her. Did they have something that they didn't have anything for Lynette?
They said that. Well, Paula got some of the video. I put it on one of them. I can't remember what it was, but she was saying that they did a flagpole or something at one of her schools.
That's right. That's what it was. That's what I remember that now. Yeah.
But it was something like it was in a different town. She wasn't from.
She changed school and
and who cares,
Plus, there was nothing with the actual our name. Oh, I mean, that bench was amazing. The way they had the drawings. The design that she made her own wee jacket. The designs that were on her denim jacket.
Yeah.
They put that on the bench. The sort of star bursts and the.
It was my friend
the
Tom Shaka did that.
Yeah. I was going to say that. It was really good. It really was. And I mean, the story's so lovely. The fact that it's right beside where she liked to swim, in the park, and it's hard not to think, oh well, she's going to be around all the kids, in the summer, and it's nice that that's where it is. I'll try not to get all sentimental. But it's a sad thing, it's a sad thing, and it's not easy to be, a cold fish,
Oh yeah. It's very sad,
So definitely my Lynette video's on my list of getting it fixed.
I'll get that fixed. There's one thing on that video that it's always bugged me. There's a gap where there's a scene where somebody's talking, and then there's a 3-second gap, and then it starts again, and I'm like, I'm gonna shove that back together. And
see, probably no one else has noticed it, but it's your own thing. I mean, Erica's is the same. He's fastidious that way too. He likes to, he likes to feel get it right. Do you see he's got Scotland flags behind him in his studio. He's got the line
Australia,
and Australia and Belgium. Don't worry. Here. Not leaving them out, don't worry. Not just representing only Scotland.
I got something for you. Hang on. Yeah, represent.
There you go.
Oh,
California.
There you go. You can get your t-shirt with that one. Yeah.
I have a shirt that has 2 trees, so one growing up and one growing down. The upper tree has the California flag, and then the lower tree has the Scottish flag.
Where your Scottish roots. You've got Scottish roots. So
very cool.
Yeah.
But California is a great place. It's a little hot right now, but other than that, pretty nice.
Whereabouts in Cali are you?
LA.
Okay. I grew up a little bit north, up by the Bay Area. But I love Los Angeles. It is hot in the summer, though.
It gets hot here. Yeah. It's hot right now. Actually, it's in the the 90s now. So.
Hope you put your aircon on.
And it's only going to get probably over the next month it'll cool down a little bit again, and then in about the middle of June it'll start to heat up again, and it'll just be summertime.
Yeah.
I was telling Chris that he needs to get on and get StreamYard, and we're not sponsored by StreamYard, just in case you think we're trying to sponsor,
I'm certainly not now because I went ahead and paid.
Yeah.
So that's why I now have Brendan Dassey up in the corner on mine. So, but
I mean, it's such a good thing, though. It really is. It's such a good thing, even for having chats. I mean, look at Skype. That's like a nightmare. I mean, no one ever has a consistent stream, on Skype. It's always like, blah, 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 and any of these things are always, terribly technical to get into. Like Zoom's not bad. That's okay to get into.
Yeah, they're getting hacked though.
Yeah.
Badly.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I mean, this is a good thing.
Zoom is getting hacked really badly.
They've been getting hacked. Yeah. Like I know my family member of mine was using it to do meetings, like conferences and stuff, and did one day, came back the next day, couldn't get into the conference because something had happened where her account had gotten taken over, and it had sent out a bunch of spam and had gotten deactivated because it had sent out a bunch of spam. And and so that's what they were having to deal with. So they weren't able to use their account that day, and it was just like, so I guess stuff like that's happening, I guess. So.
Right. Well, what's kind of scary about that is I teach school here in Las Vegas, and I know they're using Zoom on a lot of stuff, I don't know.
So you need to watch. So have you been coping okay with all the COVID stuff going on? Have you been trying to lock down as much as you can, just living normal?
Quite frankly, I've just been kind of having fun. I've been making videos and doing my research, and it's kind of a bummer. I wish, I was going to go out to Los Angeles this weekend, actually, and I just decided not to. And it's just not, I don't know. But things are going good. They're opening places up around here now. Today, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Saturday, they're actually opening restaurants and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
You see, in Scotland, we're locked down. I think we're locked down all.
How is it in LA?
As far as I know, everything right now is like all restaurants are going to remain. I mean, they can be open, but it's all just takeout. You got to come up and order it, and you walk away with it. They don't want anybody sitting in a room with numerous people where they can be spreading something around basically to each other. Yeah. So that's not allowed. It looks like the beaches. It looks like the beaches are going to be getting opened back up, I think, and I don't think that's a big deal. Being out in the open air like that, the sun's going to be baking the sand and baking everything that's there. I mean, not too concerned about that. There's going to be a lot of space, obviously, too, because it's the beach.
Yeah.
So not too concerned about that, but they're talking about getting people back to work. I think facial coverings are going to be the way to go. You know, masks and stuff. I've been wearing a mask for now 4 or 5 weeks and everything. So, I mean, that's what I've been doing. Yeah, and gloves. That's what I've been doing because, I'm going into people's houses, and look, ever since about March 18th, everybody's gotten pretty scared. Well, at least a lot of the people that we work for are pretty scared, and they don't really want anybody in their house that they don't need in their house right now.
And I get it. Yeah, I get it.
So we take that precaution because we want people to feel that little bit better, while we're there, so that they, see us taking precautions and all that. So, and I think that's what everybody just needs to do because, listen, if everybody wears the facial coverings, you're not stopping yourself from getting it by wearing a facial covering. But if everybody wears them, you're stopping yourself from giving it to other people if you have it and you don't know yet.
Yeah.
Right? That's what a facial covering does. That's where it becomes so beneficial. And that's what I'll put it this way, folks. I was just looking at my LA Times newspaper this morning, my digital newspaper this morning, and one of the stories was about, are you missing baseball? Well, you can tune in for South Korean baseball and it showed a bunch of guys in baseball uniforms wearing masks getting ready to go out and play baseball. South Korea, Taiwan, Japan, those countries are flatten the curve immediately because they're natural mask wearing, cultures. So I think the data is telling us what the path forward is. Hopefully more and more people are going to get on board with that. Hopefully people are going to be able to let go of their ambitions to exploit people's fear in this for more power. Yeah. That's going to have to go to the wayside. We all put on masks. We take our democracy and move forward, we just be careful. That's really what we need to do is just be careful and move forward with some care and some consideration.
I hear you, man. I hear you, brother.
So this is giving you lots of time to do your, like you're saying, your research and stuff like that. Are you working on a book or anything just now? Are you doing anything like that? Any writing or any kind of new things? No, you maybe don't want to give away secrets, there's maybe. Have you got projects on?
Yeah, I've got different things going on. I've been working on this Ted Bundy book forever. I've got about 300 pages in, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not lazy. I like to write, but I'm so damn sick of talking about Ted Bundy and thinking about Ted Bundy I mean, I just seriously, I cannot make myself. Okay, I'm going to work on the book today.
Yeah,
right.
I will find anything else to do. I'll go clean the fucking cat box, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the hardest time getting into it anymore. I do enjoy doing video stuff.
That's creator burnout.
Yeah,
creative is that what it is? Yeah,
I believe so. I mean, I get similar way with Avery Dassey sometimes where I want to do something, I want to go live and say something and bring the community together, but like I'll be like, I'll have conflict with myself, like what can I talk about, and I start just kind of mind screwing myself in that way where I suddenly talk myself out of it because I'm just not feeling it. You know what I mean? And so and so I know what you mean in that sense. But fortunately, I've learned to do diverse things where I start taking interest in other things, like for instance, Scottish independence.
Yay!
And that's one thing. Over on my other channel, I also like to review Doctor Who. I'm a big fan of Doctor Who.
Oh yeah.
So and all science fiction, really. I mean, but and fantasy adventure. But mine is Tom Baker.
Mine too. I was hoping you'd say that.
And David Tennant.
And
got to be number 2.
Show him your Dalek.
Oh, my Dalek. Yeah.
You have to see this.
This was made for me, but this was made for me by Sharon.
I made it.
Wow, this guy needs to be dusted
awesome.
Too. Give him a wee.
Nice. Obliterate.
And I made it so there's this
Exterminate.
Annihilate.
Annihilate.
And I'm going to be knitting him a Ted Baker. Tom Baker.
Ted Baker's
the designer. Tom Baker, the scarf.
Yeah, and I really like David Tennant too. David Tennant, I thought. What I really liked about David Tennant is I think his style was a lot in the Tom Baker style. And so there was a lot of little mannerisms about David Tennant that reminded me of Tom Baker. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like David Tennant so much.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, but big fan of Doctor Who.
Someone says maybe you could make it a pamphlet instead. Instead of a book.
Oh, I could do that. I could. If you want a Ted Bundy pamphlet, I got you. I'll do it. It's already done. If you want that, I'll just send it out. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I will eventually finish it. I'm just so sick of it though right now.
No, you'll divert yourself for a little while, and then you'll come back to it, and it'll seem fresh again. And,
there you go.
So it'll
especially
happen.
when you've got victims' families on the phone, and you're getting, you're probably thinking, I don't want to be talking about that guy. That's the guy that done that to them. I don't want to be talking about him. So you're maybe feeling a bit of that too.
I mean, your brain's making you stay away from it right now because your brain knows what you need. Your brain's going, let's go change the oil in the car. You know what I mean? It's like, so your brain's telling you. So you'll divert yourself for a while, and like I said, you'll come back to it eventually at some point, and it'll seem fresh again. At least that's what I've found happens.
I think you're spot on. Yeah, no, I appreciate you putting it into perspective, articulating it, because that's what it is. My brain has just had enough of it for a while.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the same with me when I do the victim ones. You just need to just get away from it, and because I did the one with Teresa, but then I don't think I'll probably do one for a while because it's But then I have got I don't know a few have popped out at me that I'm thinking, I might do that one. But it's getting the right amount of information so that you can do them justice as well. Because it's so often they're just a photograph and a name. A name if you're lucky. Most of it's just a photograph flashing by, quick as you like.
Right.
So that's why I really love your channel because I go on there and see all the places. Well, you see all the places like, did you not go to where Carol D'Orange was kidnapped?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To the mall.
Oh, yeah.
And did you not go past Dante's bar and stuff like that as well? And where Linda and Healy, or where was it you went?
That's Washington. I haven't been out in that.
Where was it now? It wasn't that then. It was something else. It was another place that was like that. The fingers out. I was thinking, I was like, where was it? No, there was somewhere else. It was a famous. Don't try and remember. It's okay because my brain was just trying to remember. But yeah, I mean, seeing the places, and you've heard so many times about them in films and books and all that, and actually seeing you going to the place. Oh, the school, the one of the schools or colleges you went into, that was in the Lynette, around about the Lynette time. I think did you go in with her sister, Nancy, to one of the schools?
Oh yeah, we went to when Ted was basically when he first went up there that day to Pocatello, Idaho. Probably the very first thing he did when he rolled up there on a Friday night, I think it was May 4th. He was out prowling around looking for girls, and so one of the first places Ted would, I mean, he would go straight to the college campuses,
right.
And so he walked right into the female women's dormitory. That was probably his first stop in Pocatello.
Yeah.
And he walked right in, and they were like, what are you doing here, man?
Yeah.
And the fact that he probably got away with it, he's so slimy, that way that, Yeah. So, his last video, the one before his execution was it Reverend Dobson? Is that the name of the guy?
Oh,
did you see that? The last interview with him? Yeah.
James Dobson, yeah.
Yeah. Did you think that he was manipulating him and using the pornography thing as just a... I know it's easy to say pornography, but do you think he thought it was his last big scam to manipulate?
Like a last-ditch attempt to maybe make him stop the whole progress of the execution. Yeah, you're watching that video and you can see the lights flickering in the background.
Yeah. And it's the enjoyment that he gets when he says pornography, and you can just see him going and licking his lips and all that when he's you just go, that's
salivating.
Well, isn't that what killed him at trial, right?
Yeah, he was smiling.
He was questioning the one officer about what he did to those girls.
Kept asking him.
And he was like taking the officer through it all, and he was like all gleefully doing it with the officers up there looking like he's being put through a meat grinder. And I mean, the jury... got an impression from that. You know what I mean? It's like
he was reliving it, going,
he was enjoying it. He was too sick to realize he was sinking his defense.
Totally.
But
what do you think about him proposing to Carol in the stand?
Right? Oh, desperate.
Yeah.
You want to know what I think? Desperate. That's basically, I think.
What about the fact that they fathered a child as well? You know what I mean?
What? Well, which one? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Carol Boone, the woman
Carol
that he married.
Boone.
Yeah. And did he not father a child with her, allegedly or supposedly?
I'm sure it's legit. I think he probably. I think he got away with. They had sex somewhere. It's like, Ted, go dip over here and have a little conjugal visit. Who cares? I'm sure.
Right. And Ted's probably thinking, see, look, everybody, a woman I had sex with that isn't dead. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and it's not a joke, but I mean, you can really see his wheels spinning that way. In a certain way, but, and I was always impressed by the judge, the judge when it was all over. And the judge is basically looking at him and going,
take care of yourself.
Wow, Mr. Bundy, he goes, you have he's basically like, you have a magnificent mind. He's like, I would love to see you argue again in my court. He goes, unfortunately, that's not
you went a different way, partner.
You
went a different way, partner. That's what you said.
You went a different way, partner. Yeah, it's a good way. But I thought that said it all. I mean, he was a really brilliant guy, and I get this feeling like he had some issue with his masculinity somehow, in some way. I don't know if it was from childhood or something, but it's like I remember about him killing frogs and the story about how he was killing frogs and saying, calling himself a frog man, like Navy frog man. Like he was always looking for that kick of status, or so he was like as if he was always trying to reinforce himself from a young age, maybe. I don't know. It's just a theory. I'm not a psychologist.
No, I know what you mean.
To back anything up, folks.
Do you think it was because of the no father around thing? Maybe.
Yeah, it could be
trying to sort of big himself
up.
Sure. His grandpa was a bit of a tyrant, wasn't he?
So yeah.
Well, it was kind of funny talking to the Mormon folks that knew him. Something that all these different folks that I talked to, they'd all say, "Oh, he's so gregarious, he's so outgoing, this and that. He was fun. He was, he was just really fun to talk to. He knew about everything. You could do this and that. He was, but they're always going back to the notion that he's gregarious and outgoing. But I talked to within that same group. Then I speak to this guy named Michael Priest, who is the ward president, the branch president.
Yeah.
And his comment, now he's the guy that runs the whole ward that he's in, right? That Bundy's in. And his comment was, well, Ted was very quiet and shy. He was kind of, kept to himself. And I'm thinking Ted was recognizing that Michael was the alpha male in whatever scenario, and would take him. He would take a back seat, So he played a lot of weird games,
Yeah.
And that may have been, maybe that was some insecurity he had too. I also kind of feel like when he was asking, when he did the marriage thing to Carol Boone on the stand, it's like this distraction kind of thing that guys like him do. I mean, think about like Harvey Weinstein with his walker,
right?
Yeah.
It's take attention off the fact that I'm the sick, little pig. Look at me. Don't you feel sorry for me? Or hey,
find some pity for me. Right.
I'm getting married over here. Look, let's not
draw the attention away. Yeah.
It's a distraction. Yeah. It's very interesting. All this stuff.
Sure. I mean, he was trying to put out positive publicity for himself, obviously. I mean, like I say, he was a smart guy, and he knew how to manipulate people. It's one thing he was really good at.
Yeah. What about any of the? Did you recently see the Falling for a Killer, the one on Amazon?
Yeah, it was really good.
Where Ted Bundy's brother was in that. His younger brother. Have you ever spoke to any of them from the Bundy side, or? Would you feel that was going against something sort of?
No, I never really felt the need to, nor did I feel like that they would even speak with me. And on the other hand, I just never felt the need to do it. Really, I tried to contact Diane Edwards one time. She hung up on me. That was funny. Some people like that, but no, I've never spoken to anybody.
It was nice. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
No, go ahead.
No, you carry on. I was getting ahead of myself. Carry on.
I mean, I'm aware of like who all his family is, but now I just felt like if they were available to talk or they wanted to talk, they would make themselves a little more available, and I just never felt like they were, and I just don't care really.
So, Being Green asks, didn't he say he had a happy childhood though? Even if he did, I'll give you my opinion.
But it wasn't.
Yeah,
right. I would say even if he did, I can't. I would tell you again. He had this thing about status. He wanted to always make himself seem like he was something more than he was.
Right.
And so he always had that in him. And so, can you believe him when he says he had a happy home? Is that just another attempt of him, by him, to put forth a certain image?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But then he was saying that I don't know whether they mean at the last, the interview before the execution. It might have been a way for him to try and say, look, this isn't my parents' fault. This isn't my family's fault for me being like this. I had a happy childhood. They're not to blame because they didn't go to see him before the thing. So he maybe thought
they're probably not directly, and nothing they did consciously. I'll say that, but
So I mean, I'm just wondering if it was maybe that he was saying.
Be what led to it, I believe, but whether it was maliciously, purposefully done. No,
because they talk about the grandpa being quite a
small.
You hear so many things, don't you?
That's funny.
William, trust you to say that.
I can't say a wiener. Oh, no.
No, it's all right. You can say it.
Being a sausage.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote, that's funny. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine. No worries. See what you like.
Hey, despite what Sharon will tell you, it often goes off the rails in that direction.
Good. Well, now that you said that, it's going to go really off.
Oh no!
So wow, you open the floodgates, man.
I kind of feel like I'm sort of. I should be wearing some sort of baseball cap, right enough. I feel like I'm
we're both
the odd one out, you know. And a pair of headphones.
Oh, wait! I can't believe I didn't think of this. I've got the hat for you guys. Hang on. This will.
Nice, so funny. Nice.
The tartan.
There you are, me wee lassie.
Nice.
I'm going to get those gophers. You ever seen Caddyshack, Sharon?
Yeah, okay. I've seen that. Oh, God. Yeah, that's how I know what you're saying. I'm like, oh, God.
Now get back over there and fill in those holes.
Oh, my God. Look, my husband's just throw me in a hat.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
He's just wanting me to advertise his Neil Young photograph.
Is that what the hat is?
I'm not advertising for you, Neil. I'm not advertising for you. That's why he's bringing it in. He's 7'6".
That's awesome.
Photography. Try to get me to be an advert for him.
Did you say? Were you saying Neil Young? I thought I heard.
Yes, that's my husband's name. Neil
right.
Young.
Oh,
not
Neil Young.
Not the singer. No, he doesn't sing. He doesn't sing. And I always say he doesn't have a horse with no name either.
Right.
But he's known to whistle if you start playing Prince. Anyway.
Yes, that's true. That's true. He loves Prince. He loves Prince.
Prince is awesome.
Our other good friend Mark wore a hat like that, but with the one with the red hair, didn't he? And Manitowoc.
Yeah. When we did the drawing for the Control Question t-shirts that Paul had made.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Funny. Yeah, everybody always has a tartan hat. A tartan Tammy.
Well, this one actually, if I'm not mistaken, this one actually says
made in Scotland.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
Authentic.
That's legit, guys.
Yeah. What's it, Glenn? Does it say Glenn what? What's it say? I can't see it too close.
Glenn.
No, it's reflecting. Glenn
Appen.
Oh.
Ah, right.
It says that, but it also on another tab, I think it says
made in Taiwan.
No. There you go. Something tartan.
All right. The type of tartan it is probably.
There it is.
Yeah.
Made in. Okay.
So how have you got that? How have you got that?
I found it in a consignment store in Idaho somewhere, and I was like, that is the coolest hat I've ever seen.
I'm going to need that one day for StreamYard.
And you know what? There's a reason everything happens. Yes. And today is why I bought that hat.
That's why you bought the hat. I bet, does Paula like it? Does she think you look...
Well, I always say, Paula, will you still be seen with me if I wear this in public? And she goes, yes.
It's a tentative yes, though.
Yeah, she'd kind of go, yes. Yeah, I don't think she likes it. But
Neil's in the chat. He's just said crazy horse. That's him.
Crazy horse. Yeah.
Okay. That's him. Oh God.
That's funny. Yeah. Neil Young. That's There's I used to play a little bit of music with a guy in Utah that was a diehard Neil Young guy. He loved it.
Yeah.
And it was funny. His band was called Crazy Wolf. And one day I said, so you're just kind of stealing that from Neil Young, huh? And he's like, oh, no, I didn't do that. It's just, because I caught him on it. It was funny.
Yeah.
He was running.
Paula said she tolerates it.
She tolerates it. Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you, Bean Green. But no, I actually really like this hat. I wear it all the time. I wear it around town and stuff. So,
do you? Do people stop you and say, "Wow, that's a hat you've got"? Well,
people really like it. They go, "Hey, I dig your hat, man." So no, actually, people like it.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Oh, it's good to wear something different. It's good to have something different that people.
Yeah, it's good to have style, you know.
Yeah, swagger. Yeah.
That's right.
So are you I see some of your videos on music. You know, the what's going out my head? The videos that you do from on your channel, some of them are from a club place. I can't remember what it's called. What's it now? Do you play music or do you just like watching the music?
You mean like the music I use in some of my videos?
No, like actually some of the videos are like videos of people playing music.
Like concert stuff, yeah.
Aye, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Do you play music yourself or?
Oh yeah, very much. I was just before I came to see you, I was out in the other side of town wheeling and dealing for a big Hammond B3 organ.
All right.
Those big church organs, you know, I love that stuff. So
dramatic music.
I'll show you one.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
His internet was going funny earlier on.
See? I need a hat like that so I can say, the only flower I like is a flower that Englishman's throat.
Oh, I wonder if I should put him out and let him come back in.
Maybe. Might be best. He may not be able to work it out on his own.
Yeah.
But if he just tries to re-enter, it might work.
I'll put him out, but then he'll be like, "You've put me out. Paula, please tell him I've not put him out." But I've just put him back and it's still... I've not booted him right out. Should I boot him right out? Because I've just minimised...
Well, you want to eject...
Oh, no, it's away now. He's away now. He's
so he has
going
to
to go back.
So that
Hang on, he's messaged me.
Right. So he can re-enter.
No, it's not. I'm not getting it. I thought I was getting a message. If you can hear me, Chris, just click that link again if you can and it'll let you back in. Hope you're not having... You got dropped. Oh, I know. It was because of the hat. Too much style for YouTube. I don't know if he can get back in. If he can click the link again, I can let him in. But has he lost his internet? It's saying I've got a message, but when I'm looking at my phone, it's not. Oh, hang on. Oh, he said he'll be right back.
Said that's an expensive hat.
Yeah. Oh, has he been looking it up? You've been looking it up?
He apparently
from the House of Brewer.
So.
Well, if it's from the House of Brewer, that is an expensive place. Like really expensive. Like you need to be these American tourists that come over and they'll pay kind of daft money for something. It's like the people in Scotland will not go, and...
he's rebooting.
Oh, that's a wee shame. But if you had a good day today, you were doing a video with Paul earlier on, and coincidentally the beginning was about bite marks and dental, forensics and stuff like that. That was quite interesting. I forget the real terminology. What's the terminology?
What, the bite mark analysis?
Yeah, but there's a name. There's a big name for it.
Oh, the forensic odontology.
Thank you. That's what I keep you around for. It's actually, wait a minute. No, I was just testing you. I knew it all along.
Sure.
So I think Paula was interested in the Brexit stuff and all that, and she was looking into that like when it was happening.
Right.
That's Chris's wife, because we were talking about that as well. So that was, who knew? Who knew? I know it's a posh hat. It's a posh hat. You might need to get it insured. You might need to put it in your house insurance, because it's like so expensive. In case the wind blows it off one day.
might be old enough to be like a classic now or something.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. You never know. So, but that was so you were helping read out that article as well. That was really interesting. That.
Yeah, I heard you. You were like basically like, Paul, you read it. Come on, Paul.
No, it was because Paul read it the last time, and it was so funny because when he was reading it out, I was thinking, oh my god, Eric is going to be going nuts because of the way the big words, he was trying to read them out and he was just, it wasn't working out for him. It's the way that he would have liked for it to do. And you're so fluent at being able to just read things, and you're really good at just, sort of enunciating things. You just see it and you just, yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, so I mean that was funny. So that's why I was actually having a wee poke at Paul by saying, oh, get Paul to do it again, because it was funny and he knew he'd kind of, he was, some of the words he was going, not getting this, I'm trying to say it and it's not coming out right. And yeah, and I said that you, what was it now? You're too good at it or something. You must be a droid. Did you see that?
No, I'm not sure.
Because you're too good at reading out these words. I think you must be like, data or something like that.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear him if he said. The Magic Cosmos says a lot of things that I miss because
yeah.
You can't listen to drivel all the time.
Hang on. So you mean Captain in person? Sorry, I'm not getting what you mean. You maybe need to explain that because I've maybe missed something. And I'm sorry, Sherry. I know what it's like when you're doing your lives and you're watching things and you're going, no, I'm not getting that. I don't know what that means. And I'll just say, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying. Because it's hard on it sometimes when you see the chat, but it's like it's something that's been said like 5 minutes ago. Your brain doesn't always. Your brain's not thinking what you said 5 minutes ago.
Right.
When you're on here, you're just like thinking,
Yep, I learned that lesson too when I was going live. Because I got frustrated because I saw the same question 3 times. The only reason it had been asked 3 times is because I was behind in the chat. Yeah. So the person had asked 3 times because they thought I was ignoring them. So I was like, and so I ended up getting a little huffy. But by the 3rd time, I've seen the same question.
Get huffy?
I don't do that anymore.
Huffy. What does Huffy look like?
I don't know.
I know what it looks like.
I'm trying to fake it for you right now. I don't know.
I think are you not already doing it?
Be able to get back up. Uh-oh. He's falling and he can't get up, folks.
Oh.
So, I guess that's where that's.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, that means I'll just have to have him on again sometime.
Right.
Or maybe I don't know. Maybe Paula would like to come on with him the next time. I don't know, Paula. What do you think? Would you be up for that? Get the 2 of you on, matching hats, of course. Because Paula's lovely. She's lovely. I don't know. She's maybe not video friendly, as in some people are not good at going on a video. Not that I'm saying she wouldn't look nice in a video. I just mean, some people are not.
Hey, some people are very conscious about.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's
true.
You could stand in the background and just speak into the microphone and go.
I've been for 3 years trying to get people to get on YouTube and start talking about Avery Dassey. Yeah. And so and in 3 years I've probably got now or at least there are now about probably 12, or so. Yep. Baker's dozen maybe, that are doing it. So hey, I understand people are afraid to get on camera and start offering strong opinions. Yeah. So.
But I mean, it's certainly grown. It has. And,
growing more all the time.
Exactly.
I'll be on with Diane and Jane tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I was going to say that tomorrow. That'll be good. And I'm sure you'll be. Diane's like me. She's like, yay,
Right.
And we're going to be doing a video. I think it's next week. We're going to be doing a video.
She says she's not interesting. Paula says she's not interested.
Oh,
I disagree. She would probably be very interested.
Are you saying you're not interesting or you're not interested?
Well, it says interesting.
You are interesting. Oh no, but don't worry about that at all, Paul. I tell him not to worry at all.
Yeah.
Understand these things happen, don't they? They happen all the time. When
it was fun, though. Tell him, it was fun, and
he'll probably see. But definitely, it was an absolute pleasure having him on. He's so funny, and so knowledgeable, and I probably didn't ask as much as I could have, but I didn't want to bombard him with like a million questions or things. I like to let the people
do
their thing. But sometimes when you ask too many questions, it can put someone in the middle of a flow of something, and because you recently had a very interesting guest on your channel, didn't you? The start of Marathon. Yeah. Retired FBI agent. Yeah. Steve Moore.
It was
second time you've had him on now, though.
Second time I've had him on, and and right now he's looking into stuff with stuff for Steve. So I may get an opportunity to talk to him real soon if he ends up if what he reviews, he has something to say. I'm sure he'll let me know. So, but
you've got some good interesting stuff coming up, though, haven't you? You've got
Tuesday night we're gonna be talking. Well, tomorrow number 1 with Jane and Diane, so that'll be fun, just hanging out and talking about stuff. But so that's tomorrow on Sunday, nice leisurely Sunday chat. Then on Tuesday evening for the U.S., it'll be the evening. It'll be 8 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Pacific. I will be speaking to Ricky Kidd, who is a exoneree. He's been out of prison for 8 months after being exonerated. He was in for 23 years, a little over 23 years, 23 years, a couple months. And he spent wrongfully convicted. And so I'll be chatting with him and talking about his case and some other stuff. So that's coming up. I am still talking with Amanda Knox and should be finalizing something with her eventually here. So.
You see what I'm doing? Fingers crossed. Get it all to work.
And looking to reach out to a lot of other wrongfully convicted. And in fact, like I've been kind of tagging Marty Tancliffe a lot on Twitter and stuff. And Valentino Dixon. Valentino Dixon and I actually follow each other. And
stalk each other.
Well, we've never actually spoken to each other, but he follows me. So I'm eventually planning to try to approach him, see if he wants to come on and chat with us. Obviously, all working up to the event in October that we're kind of planning now. It looks like the Innocence Project's going to be planning their own stuff that weekend, obviously. So, I don't know. I'm not trying to step on their toes, but we want to do a thing with a lot of content, bringing awareness to wrongful convictions. So, hopefully we'll just be able to work in, concert with them for that weekend. Or,
You ever thought of maybe doing it the weekend before or the weekend after, and you might be able to get more people to get involved?
I'm waiting to see what exactly, I'm actually right now waiting to see what actually they're going to be doing, because it sounds like they may just have people going around doing things, but they may not necessarily be available on social media for people to see. So it's hard. If it's a lot of events like that where people aren't able to tune in and be part of it, then I would say, I'm probably going to move forward with my plan for that weekend, because then that gives people a place to go online because they can't travel to wherever the meeting place is, right? So, but then again, I've heard there's going to probably be like a streaming event. It may not be 48 hours. So I'm going to wait till we get a little closer and I get a little bit more kind of definition on what that weekend's going to maybe look like before I decide to change my plan. So that's kind of where I'm at. But
well, we all hope it works out because it's it's a good reason for why you're wanting to do it. So I mean, it's like when everyone's intentions. You know what? How they say? What do they say about intentions?
yeah.
Good intentions. I'll not say it, but no. I mean, seriously though, when everyone's intentions are for good reasons, it's. Oh, I'll just say bye, Paula. Bye, Paula. Thanks for letting me have your husband for a wee while on the channel. Thanks, and I'll speak to you later. I'll see what you thought of it. Pure grill people. What did you think? I think you could understand me. I think he said I've got a thick accent.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, oh, imagine if it was Davey.
Yeah, right.
Me.
Even I'm still having trouble when Davey gets really going and he's talking too quick. Even I'm, yeah.
No, we do too, though. I've said that. No offense to Davey, because I love Davey. But it's like sometimes I go, oh, Davey, you're getting too carried away there. You're getting too carried away.
Yeah, I love Davey, though. He was on Indie Live Radio this weekend.
Yeah,
there's actually another little indie streaming event this weekend, by the way, folks. I mean, it's interesting. For those who are interested in Scottish independence at all.
Yeah.
But
it's really good, all these different things, and it's like, because like Davey comes on your channel and, he said that the other day. He says, I don't stream at the weekend unless I'm on other people's channels,
right.
And I thought, it's a wee mention, So, I mean, that was nice. Then obviously he meant the radio thing as well. He's doing radio stuff. But I think there's another thing that he's going to be doing as well. But I mean, it's really good. It's good that he's getting out and about doing all that, and that he's in high demand. Getting like Eric Cozy, high demand.
Yeah. Hey, but watch out! Don't get Hollywood like Johnny. Like Ripper.
Yeah, no, exactly. We're going to say that. Yeah, we need to be careful. We need to be careful. There's levels that we need to reach and not go too far. But Johnny was away over. He was away over at trying to find Carol Baskin. If anybody's watched the
Florida folks.
Yeah.
He isn't doing any videos right now, so you gotta wonder what the hell he's up to. But yeah, so anyway.
But yeah, I wonder if he maybe. Do you think he found her? Do you think he's been in the meat grinder? Do you think he's?
I told him I did a super chat during his live. I don't know, 4 nights ago I think it was, and sent a super chat and said basically, if Carol Baskin asks you to look inside the meat grinder, don't fall for it.
Don't fall. No. I mean, it couldn't even fit a hand, So, anyway. So
Johnny's thoroughly debunked the whole thing. She only had the hand ones. He's found photos, documentation of the fact that they owned the big ones, and so it's just that's another lie that Carol Baskin has told that has now got an entire country of people. Well, at least some of the people in the country looking after watching Tiger King at her and finding her more and more suspect because of these obvious lies that she tells.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Alice is saying to you, good luck.
Yes, right. About
and Alice is a Ouija as well. She doesn't say Glasgow now, but she's a Ouija. So
right on, Alice.
It's like we've got a wee community of Ouijas.
Yeah,
but there's actually quite a few. It's really nice, actually. It's like, it's funny because you'll probably have people from, LA watching you, and I don't know whether it's the same. Do you go, there's somebody from LA, or so big, So it's like, whereas finding a Ouija on the internet is like, it's pretty amazing. Be, like on the internet, and it's a Ouija.
It seems like they flock to me.
Yep.
So.
The Ouijas? Yeah.
Yeah, the Ouijas, yeah.
Yep. I know, we're a wee bit like midges, though. So, I think, I think the Ouija's like the fact that you're, you're a straight shooter that way, when you tell us the facts, and you're not salacious with it, you know. Because see if anybody's too cheesy or too over dramatic, it's just like, oh no, just turn that off, you know. It's like, I don't know, I've not got a lot of tolerance for all, like, you know, over dramatic people, you know. Because it's like, we're already over dramatic ourselves, so watching someone else is like, oh, come on, you know, you try, kid, pal.
Right.
Whereas you don't come across like that, so it's, you know, that's what's good, I think.
Yeah, like, you like it delivered on a more even keel, so you can add your own over drama.
Yeah, exactly. We go, oh, you hear what Eric Cody said? He said this, he said that, and he said. You can tell a story to someone else. Oh no. But I was going to just say, well, while we're on this on a high, I should probably say that I should end the live since I do
need to get to dinner, so that
I need to get to dinner as well. And but it's still saying that a big welcome to today's guest.
I'm not Captain Borax.
That's what I was going to say. He's not Captain Borax.
You know,
he is not.
I guess this StreamYards wasn't big enough for the two of us. No, I'm just kidding.
See, I was going to say that two Cali dudes broke the StreamYard. That's what it is. Yeah, I just wanted to hear the two of you like chatting away, you know, and I was like, oh, I want to hear this, you know. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I know it was maybe got a bit random at the end here, but never mind. That's me, isn't it? So, but anyway, thanks everybody for watching if you've watched, and if you're watching it on the rewatch, I hope you enjoyed it and made it to the end. And if you got to here, well done. You're getting a badge of honour for making it all the way to this point without turning it off and saying, she's too dramatic. But anyway.
Guys, well, thank you for having me. It was fun.
Oh, you're so welcome. It was so nice having you on. But I'll just end this.
You go enjoy dinner.
Yeah. So thanks everyone again. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.